exciting. I've been like completely focused on finishing my portfolio website, so I haven't really done much else lately. It's not really the most exciting, but it's really coming a long way, and this is the closest I've ever been to being done with it. Sorry, just turned on the kettle. Um, so I'm not really gonna interrupt it as much as like I'm gonna stay focused as much as possible on just getting that done. Um, but yeah, I'm making some coffee right now, and I got my newspaper for today. I was so excited yesterday. I literally like almost like I don't know. I was so excited. I like came in with my newspaper and I was like, yes, 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 yes. I get to read it. Um, that's so it's so weird that I'm like this, but it's been a while, so I was like really excited because I had like suspended the delivery and stuff. I also have been like dying to lift weights. Like I want to go so bad, but I still feel like I shouldn't be coughing around other people. And I know I have a barbell in my garage, so I really don't have an excuse. That's a fair point. I do have a barbell in my garage. Why am I not thinking about these things? This is why it's helpful to talk things out. But yeah, this is pretty much today's going to be focused mostly on that. I'm going to be cranking out my portfolio as soon as possible, and then take the rest of the evening and just relax. Just kidding, it's gonna take me all day to finish my portfolio. That was a weird laugh. I'm also gonna be working on my printed version. I'm trying to get this job application done as soon as possible. My professor sent me one yesterday, and I was like, oh shoot, I really need to finish my website. So I was like, alright, fine, I'll start working on it. So I started working on it around like 6:30 or 7, honestly, like actually focused working. And I didn't stop till like 2 a.m. when I recorded that little video last night. Oh man, it's been a lot. Like I'm excited, but it's also a lot. So hoping to get that done, and I might edit some vlogs today. I don't really know. Um, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of good stuff, but yeah, it'll show soon. So yeah, catch you guys later. Said I was gonna finish my portfolio and stuff, but I got really sidetracked writing the script for my next comic, because I know for myself I need some kind of structure or I'm not going to follow through on it. I found it really hard in the past to finish things, but if I can finish the script, then I can, have that confidence to move into the next phase. Um, I've only really been writing like the rough idea of it so far. There's too much I want to talk about, to be honest, like way too much. And I know that this isn't going to be the only project that I'm making, so I really want to hone in on one aspect and really hammer that in. There's unfortunately so much complexity to the kind of stories that I'm trying to tell, so it's really going to be difficult to keep it fairly short and concise. And we all know that concision is always. Concision? Is that a word? Keeping it concise is always a more efficient way of storytelling, and it also helps people to walk away without feeling like exhausted, and also like give people a little room to like imagine what could be happening with these stories that we're telling. Um, so that's kind of the overall gist. I think, honestly, I'm gonna have to work really hard to keep things a little bit more vague because right now, people would read it and get very offended. So we're gonna try and keep things a little bit more vague and push for concepts and storytelling rather than specific narratives about it. It is narratives of events, or at least added spice narratives of events. So I don't know. It's gonna be fun, but like I gotta work to make it a little bit less specific. And I know some of it. I'm taking some creative licenses. I'm adding some things that people wouldn't like, but that's part of what makes it more engaging and interesting. I watched The Lost Child yesterday, Lost Daughter. That was a really weird movie, really interesting. I know there was a lot of symbolism, a lot of storytelling, but it's still an offensive film. Like it is still something that like you have to kind of deal with and grapple with, that objectivity of being a bad mother, but also a bad person, and still having that duplicity of like also being a really good person in some respects. And it's like, ooh, like having a bad lead is always so interesting. Like having somebody that is a villain as the main character. And so I'm taking some inspiration from that for elaborating on some of my own personal, not my history, but family history, to try and show that complexity of having a character who does bad things or does things that maybe aren't always in other people's best interest and kind of selfish. And exploring, the reasoning behind that and what might be going on behind the scenes without actually saying this is what that person's doing. But yeah, I'm also gonna go get ready really quick, so I'm gonna go get some lunch. But so after a few days of thinking about this, and I mean, it's been a little while now, I've been thinking about this. I'm gonna see about uploading a little less frequently. This has been about 6 weeks now in the making. So far, uploading almost every single day for the past 4 weeks, I think it's been. And so I'm planning to slow down that amount of videos being just cranked out. At first, I think it's important with anything to start with very low standards and focus on simply creating without expectation of a certain level. But I think there does come a point where you have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, let's rethink this a little bit. The original goal was simply to get myself recording things on a daily basis and to learn how to edit very quickly and how to crank things out and uploading things without worrying about their quality. But now, as I've been thinking a little bit more lately, and just getting to a point now where uploading every single day just isn't as meaningful, I think, as I didn't even originally intend to upload every single day, so it being less frequent is totally okay with me. There's always things in my mind, always things I'm gonna have to say, so I'm sure I'll have plenty of content to be putting out there, but as I'm leaning more into longer form podcasts that aren't going to be shared as publicly or whatever, I think it's still going to be fairly frequent that I'm recording things. I'm just hoping to maybe release less content, and that way people can actually watch it and not feel overwhelmed by it, the sheer quantity that I'm manufacturing. So I'm thinking about like one video a week. Probably just sit and record something, not necessarily scripted, but like outlined a little bit at the end of a week to kind of summarize what happened and how it went. I think for Capstones, that's going to be a lot more beneficial than simply documenting literally everything that's happening. I'm going to see about still recording a lot. Like, I'm still going to be recording those small moments throughout the week. Things like, the sunrise or ducks or, those small moments, but not necessarily so much of me sitting in front of a camera being like, hey, here's what I'm thinking about at the moment. We'll see. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I still have, this project is hoping, like these videos, these vlogs, are hoping to go all the way through to graduation. So being intentionally doing them differently a little bit and improving them as I'm going through the process, that's going to be massively beneficial. So that being said, the visuals are going to stay mostly the same. I'm hoping to update the intro at some point. I don't really love it, and I never really have, but it works for me. It works alright. But yeah, just like slowly, gradually building into it, and then my roommates are also more interested in doing like other kinds of videos besides the vlog, so things like random challenges and being goofy and just us being ourselves. I think those will make for better videos that maybe would be overshadowed by my constant vlogs. So that's kind of what's been on my mind. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do a little thinking on this year, planning out how I'm gonna spend my last semester here at school. I want to intentionally be talking to my friends, intentionally recording some of these conversations that we do have, and seeing if I can, still document that and save it for, myself later on at a later time, to remember these beautiful, beautiful last few months together. And it's not to say that I won't see these people again. I know. But it is going to be different, and I have to appreciate what I have while it's here so that I can look back on it and enjoy it. I think also being genuine and authentic about the temporariness of it all helps me to engage even more with the presence of the difficult, of the enjoyable. Recognizing it all as temporary is essential, I think, to choosing to be present with it. Because if it's something that is going to last forever, then you don't need to sit with, like, you can't sit through that. You can't endure it. But with the recognition that everything is temporary, you can sit through those difficult times and show up for them in a way that's meaningful. But you can also kind of engage with the more positive aspects in a more present way. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking through a lot. Gonna do some reworking. Actually, haven't really thought through the semester a whole lot. I have a few projects that are due where I'm outlining like what it's gonna look like. I need to take some time and sit with it. Tomorrow's Saturday and school starts on Monday. So I'm kind of stressed about that. I'm going to try and wake up earlier tomorrow than I have been, but I'm also going to go to bed in the next few minutes. So that's why I'm like half asleep talking. But I just thought I'd, give a little check in and be like, hey, just so you know, I am aware that these videos are ridiculous in quantity and also not been the highest quality that I'm capable of as far as my editing skills or whatever. It's just about time and it's just about being consistent. And I've shown myself I can be consistent. I've proved that to myself. So now that I know, and I also know it's something I enjoy a lot, and I know that I can trust myself to do something a little bit different. And if that doesn't work, I still have this to fall back on, because I know it's not an insane amount to be cranking all this stuff out. So yeah, that's what's been on my mind. I'm definitely gonna have to do some rethinking and thinking in general about this semester specifically, not my life as a whole, but this semester. I'm still trying to finish up my website for my portfolio. Still trying to work on my printed portfolio. It's just a lot to do at the moment, and I feel a little bit pooped. I had lots and lots of good social time today, so I'm feeling a little more like myself. Good long conversations with friends on important topics. I think I talked to my roommate Sarah from like 12 to like 7 or 8, so it was a good 7-hour conversation. But that's what happens when you're on break. Like, you have the freedom to do that. And I also, we're also so privileged to be able to talk about that stuff for this long. But, I mean, part of that, we were hanging with another good friend from, like, noon till 3 or something, so I don't know, feeling a lot of things, but mostly overwhelmed, I guess, is probably the best one, and best word for it, and really not ready for Monday at all, and I'm kind of in denial that it's 2 days away, or forgetting that it's 2 days away, and I'm still trying to get everything possible done in the next few days, and I still get sidetracked writing comic strips and making art. Sidetracked isn't necessarily the right word, but it's still like, man, I have a lot of work to do, so, but I am gonna call it that for tonight. I'll catch you guys later, and I guess starting next week it'll be a weekly one, so every Sunday probably, and catch you guys later.